How did it get so cold so fast? I literally woke up and it's freezing this morning. Anyways, that's not what this is supposed to be about. Oh, Cooper.
No, the question of today's video is one that's going to be a driving factor for my year ahead. And that is, do I get an apartment? Finally? But first we got invited to a breakfast at Empreinte, which I'll explain more in a minute when I understand more of what's going on. My life has really changed a lot with Paris, my pocket, which is another thing that I probably could explain a little bit better here shortly. Anyways, I'm ready for breakfast. Ah, the welcome party's left. Hey, I know you. Oh, there goes the dog.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
I figured you were already inside.
No, I just my bike.
I thought that was half the point. This is actually the perfect setting to ask this question because this is the kind of place that I would love to be able to visit and afford to outfit an apartment. There's a lot of different stuff in here. It turns out they've got about 100 different creators. This is the very Made in France week, as it turns out, because this is a store that supports around 100 different artists that are all in France. Everything is made, in their words, A to Z, in France. So if you want to buy a mug or a plate, some jewelry, a whole variety of different things, you can know for sure that it was made here in France, which is really, really cool. And a lot of this stuff is really, really nice. I mean, probably all of it's really, really nice. Who am I to judge? There's also a bunch of art and some really cool lights. Like these are made out of paper mache, and I am obsessed with the mirror lights that are in like those really cool crafted globes. Anyways, this place is in the Marais, and if you happen to be coming to Paris between the 23rd and the 25th, they're holding an exposition in the Marais on Rue des Blancs-Manteaux. So press pause, check that out. And then maybe check out all these French artisanal crafts. It's very, very cool. A lot of this feels affordable, especially for what it is, because it's all handcrafted. It's beautiful, and even just walking through here, it's really, really nice. So all the French craftsmanship in this video also raises the alternate question, which is, instead of an apartment, should I get an atelier? What is an atelier? Molly, what is an atelier?
An atelier is a workshop. It could also be a loft, depending on the meaning or like the context.
That was delightfully concise. I like that.
I mean, can you imagine having like a loft, like a crafting space, an atelier, a workshop, a place that you could go with lots of bright light? Doggy's saying hello behind me. But you get it, right? Like space to build, to paint, to create, to like work on my little tech projects, to film. Just to have a place to go where like all you're there to do is make cool stuff. That's the dream, right? But probably not the wisest thing to get first. I mean, you could sleep in it. I don't think legally you're supposed to. But my Parisian apartment has been a long time goal and dream of mine, and I really do think this is the year to make it happen. So let's go home and talk about what I'd be giving up, what I'd be gaining, and what I actually have to accomplish to make it work, because it's not as straightforward as simple as just like walking into an empty room and taking it. Of course, first we have to make a quick stop at Landline, which this is the perfect ornament for that. If you're watching Paris My Pocket, we're going to be doing a giveaway, so you should probably go follow over there. But Landline is where I always come to get my Christmas ornaments, usually for my sister. This year for me, because can't really ship them to the US. That's a whole other story for the moment, but this is the one we're going to give away. It's not the one I'm going to get. The one I'm going to get, well, I probably should get Cooper the good dog bowl.
Are you a good dog?
He's like, you guys are tricking me. This isn't actual food.
But the one I am going to get instead is this Metro sign, because these are one of my favorite things anyways on the planet. And now I can put it on a tree. Thanks to today's patron producer, Sam P, and all my patrons for making all this possible. Now, let's talk apartment. Let's not minimize what I've got going for me here, because there are people that will make fun of me for living in this tiny space for all kinds of reasons that we can psychoanalyze another time. But the reality is, if I leave this, I'm leaving a lot behind. I do talk about not liking the 16th so much. I'm very grateful just to live in Paris at all. though. So no matter where I end up, I'm just happy to be here. And I'm very happy and very fortunate to have this place. I will link to a video explaining how I got this place. And of course, I wrote an entire book about it. Sea of the Unknown, plug. Make sure to grab this soon before the second one comes out, because we're going to be working on that soon. But I'm very fortunate to have this space for free. I basically managed to stumble into it while I was volunteering on a hospital ship in West Africa. But as a result, I was able to start my life over here in Paris, which I wouldn't have been able to afford to do otherwise. Christmas doggy coming for a visit. So not only am I leaving behind like the security of this space, my delightfully cozy bed, but I also have storage across the way, access to a garage where I park my bike, and during COVID, my landlady granted me access to her balcony, which I am able to use, and it's where you saw the view of the Eiffel Tower this morning with the sunrise, which is very beautiful. And she's let me put a coffee machine up there, a piano. I get some work done up there. Like, you get it. I'm actually very, very fortunate to have the setup that I have. But that doesn't mean that there aren't reasons to move. You're so sweet. You're so sweet. You're all snuggly. You're ready for a nap. I've made a bunch of videos about why I want to move, but the major things are like wanting to be closer to friends, wanting to have a space to host. The main rule that my landlady gave me when she gave me access to her space was that I couldn't host, which is fine. It's her space. But I really do miss having people over, being able to provide space for dinners, parties, etc. So that's a big part of it. Also, I don't feel super comfortable filming in her space. Like, it's her space and I don't want to intrude too much. So that's why you don't really ever see it. When I made that whole video ranking the arrondissements based on where I would want to live, the main thing was really proximity to friends, being central, right in the middle of all of them. That's the most important thing to me. Basically, relationships and mental health. That's it. But the other thing, and the reason why this feels more urgent, is multiple. One of them, I'm knock on wood, hopefully my landlady lives for another century, but she is an octogenarian. And while she said I could have this place until she dies, I think that there was something that was sparked in all of this, a reality check when my mom died a few months ago at 70. So she's significantly younger. You just never know when it's going to happen. And while I really genuinely hope she never does, and even if I were to move, I would happily keep an eye on this place for as long as she wants me to. I have to get moving because the other reality is that the market is getting tougher. My friend Esther, relocation expert, ran me through just how competitive the market is getting. And it's really complicated as a business owner to get a place. So I'm going to have to start paying myself more. And you might be asking, why don't you buy a place? Well, for one, I mean, like, I think this is the year where things really start to move in that direction, but I'm going to need a good 2 to 3 years of earnings as proof to get a loan. And unless I have a massive windfall and I'm able to buy a place with cash, I have no family support. I have no help outside of what I'm able to build right here. So we're just going with what we got. We're going to be circling back to the apartment hunt a lot as we go, but the baseline details are I need to be earning 3 times the rent, have 2 years of tax returns, a guarantor, a letter of intent, and 6 times the rent in savings. That's the list that Esther gave me. Those are the goals that I'm aiming for. And that's the baseline. Once I get to those goals, then we can start the search in earnest. And I do think that finding an apartment and starting that search sooner than later is probably a wise choice. And even if I end up having the entire year to find one, that just means we have that much more time to find the perfect place. I have plenty more to share with you about all of this, a lot more details. If you're interested in the apartment hunt for your own reasons, leave comments below and we'll do some Q&A stuff with Esther in the future and some other friends of mine who know a lot more about the apartment hunt than I do. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning we got a couple more adventures coming up this week. It's not all made in France. There's a really big American coming to town. I'll tell you more about that later.